Hey, Tracy. Going to give everybody a few minutes to get on here. I'm going to adjust my camera for a minute. Yeah, you hear jingle bells. I am getting ready for a craft fair, so I am making some door hangers, and this is one of the ones that I made, and we're going to make one of these tonight in a different design. So this is what I've got so far. I was going to just go through the ones that I have already made. Here is a smaller one that I have made. And this is using chalk Couture ink. And this is the one done with this month's club transfer. And there's the jingle bell. And here's the one done with the Oh Christmas Tree Farm transfer. And I think this one came from a different transfer where I just mixed and matched it. I think it's Santa's Countdown Christmas is where these two come from. And then they have the little hanger. This buffalo plaid is everywhere right now. This is what everybody's decorating in, is the buffalo plaid. So I'm just going through some of the door hangers that I have made this week. As I said earlier, I am getting ready for another craft fair. I had a craft fair this past Saturday, and my chalk Couture stuff just flew out. Everybody wanted it, and I did really well with the chalk Couture stuff. But this is chalk Couture. What chalk Couture is, if you're new to Chalk It Live and you want to know a little bit more about chalk Couture, it is a high-end DIY transfer company, and the transfers are reusable. Once you ink or chalk them, you wash them, and you can reuse them. So I'm just going through. This is the last one, and then we'll make another. So you can do chalk Couture as a hobby, or you can make it a business. And if you want to know some more information about chalk Couture, just comment me and I will contact you and get you some more information. So for tonight's project, what you'll need is a hoop, and I believe this one is 10 inches. The other ones were, yep, this is a 10-inch hoop. The other ones were 12-inch hoop, and then I've made some smaller 4-inch hoops with and made some Christmas ornaments out of those. And I didn't get those because they're hanging on the tree. I've already put up my Christmas tree. So you will need a hoop. You will need some ribbon, a hot glue gun, staple gun. You will need some embellishments for the top of your wreath. And I am going to use a bell. And I just purchased a bag of these from Craft Store online. So we've got our bell for it. You will need some baker's twine to attach your bell. You will need some buffalo plaid material. And you're not going to believe what this is. I always look for things to save money, and I was in the grocery store / department store, very famous. Everybody knows the place that I'm talking about, where you can go and buy your groceries and buy other things too. This is a round tablecloth, and it was pretty cheap. It was $10, and I've just been cutting on it. And I've used half of it already. And you will need some chalk Couture ink, and I am going to use white and the shimmer gold. And you will need, the transfers that I'm using tonight are the seasonal deer and Fa La La trio. That's the ones that I'm going to use tonight. So if you just came on, say hello so I know you're here. So we're going to first cut our buffalo plaid. And what I do is I just lay it out on my table, and you want about 1/4 of an inch, because you're going to turn it over and hot glue it to your frame. So I take my fabric scissors and make a mark at the top, and then I just cut along the pattern. And it doesn't have to be neat, because we're going to trim this up when we're done. So you just want to cut a square. And like I said, this was a round tablecloth that we are using as our fabric base. And then we're going to use our fabric mat. This is a reusable fabric or ink mat that's sticky that we're going to use to put our fabric on. And my internet is acting up tonight, so I hope y'all can see me and hear me okay. And what this fabric mat does is it holds your fabric down so it doesn't move while you ink it. You will also need an iron or a Cricut Easy Press. I use the Easy Press, so I don't have to keep dragging my ironing board out, my iron out, and all that good stuff. So you want to make sure it's free of lint. And then I always put my hoop down. to make sure everything is arranged correctly. And I kind of wanted to do 2 deer, 1 doe and 1 buck, because I wanted to do the antlers in gold, do the deer in white and do some antlers in gold. So we're going to use our Couture trimmers and cut this apart. And I hope we have room. I wanted to use these stars too. And since we're using fabric, we don't have to fuzz our transfers, but we are going to mark our back so we know which side we put our transfer back on. So we're going to remove our backing from our transfer, and we're going to place our transfer down. And we're going to smooth out our transfer, make sure there's no wrinkles under our transfer, no air bubbles. We're going to use a small squeegee and we're going to ink. And I actually think I want to move it down a little bit. I think that looks good. So once we make sure we don't have any air bubbles under our transfer, we are going to ink our transfer. And I start at the top, and with a light hand, just drag our ink on our transfer. And you want to be real careful, because wherever that ink gets, it's going to stay. It is permanent once it's heat set. But if you get it on somewhere where you don't, it will stain. And you want to inspect your fingers and make sure you don't have any ink, so you don't transfer it onto your fabric. Hey Renee, thanks for joining. And then you want to gently peel and make sure that you got good coverage with your deer. So I'm going to reuse this. So I'm going to lay it down on my work surface, and we're going to do the quick clean on this one. Normally you would put it in a water bath and wash it real good, but I want to use it again. So we're going to do a quick clean.